we're back. Another weekly edition of the Adam Cohen Coach's Corner. Lots of good things to talk about. 3 victories for the Owls since we chatted last week. Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you.
Let's start off with the win streak. Are there any factors or characteristics, things that you're seeing either during the course of the game or post-game on the film that you feel are really contributing to the team's play over the course of the last 3 games?
It's just continued development, Mike. I think all of our players are getting better. They're figuring out how they fit into this big, larger scheme of things and the tactics that are involved. So I just feel like it's not any one thing. I think it's a group effort from the entire squad, and people are buying in. People are buying in and getting better.
We'll start off. We'll look back at last week. You open up with pace here at home. And let's be honest, that's a game you are, 3 or so minutes away from potentially losing and dropping to 1-3 in the conference, and in potentially a pretty big hole going forward. But you get the tying goal, the winning goal from Caroline Stahl in overtime for the 2-1 victory. Talk about the resiliency of the team and what you saw in being able to come back, dig deep and get a win against Pace.
We've seen enough of it, not just this year, Mike, but over the years, that this group does not give up, and they've got the quality and determination to really fight back in any situation. So you never give up. I mean, hope's never lost with this group. I do think it was an important result. I mean, the assist from Vic Bonani in the final minutes of regulation to Bree Casey was quality. The service from Vic was very good. The finish from Bree Casey was very good. And then again, Caroline Staudel, I mentioned it a couple weeks ago. She did what she does. She scores a big goal at a big moment.
When you look back, again, we'll kind of jump ahead now to another month or two. But when this season is over, and you look back at this year, do you feel like potentially that Pace game could be a turning point in the season?
We won't know until the end of the year, Mike. There's so many twists and turns within the course of a season. All I know right now is that we're starting to gain momentum. We're starting to feel good about what we can accomplish this year. So we'll see how that plays out.
On Saturday, not only rival Franklin Pierce coming to town, but you also had the 20th anniversary of Southern Women's Soccer. Let's start off with the celebration piece. Can you just give us a little snapshot on how the day went through your eyes?
Well, yeah, it was a great day for us. We had this year is the 20th anniversary of the Southern Women's program, as you mentioned. So to be able to get alumni back and have the support of Jay Moran. So we can put together an event that day in support of the alumni was tremendous. And then Teresa Krasuski, or Teresa Juliano Krasuski, did such a good job of rallying the troops of alumni, of people that graduated many years ago, to get people back and to see them with their children here on our field at our stadium. Really was a highlight for me, and I know it was a highlight for our current girls too. We were very, very appreciative of what Jay did, and having those alumni back were outstanding. Carrie DiBiase scored, a tremendous goal in that game. Tremendous goal. I mean, that's one you want to keep going back to watch over and over, and that's something that you want to remember, because she did a really, really good job there. And we gave up a penalty earlier in the game. I think Deanna Ryan was maybe a little disappointed in giving up that penalty. But you mentioned resiliency, and Deanna Ryan comes back and scores the game-winning goal later in the game with an assist from Christine Allard. So that's what you love, those moments. That's what you love about this sport, and you love for the student athletes to be able to experience that. If something bad happens to you, you can come back and make it right. All those life lessons, and we had all that in that day. So it was a very good afternoon.
And obviously, it's been a long-standing rivalry with Franklin Pierce going back to the inception of this program here, and I believe that's 3 straight wins against them here at home. Going back, if my memory serves correctly.
I don't have the stats, but yeah, you're absolutely right to have going back to when Jimmy O'Brien was a coach here and all those alumni. I mean, they remember I mean, especially in 2000 when Southern had an undefeated regular season. I think they were 20-0-0. They beat Franklin Pierce, and at that time it was a very, very big rivalry. So to be able to get a result against Franklin Pierce was good this weekend, and to get a result against a quality team like that in front of our alumni, I think it meant a lot to everybody.
Yesterday, the rare weekday afternoon game with Queens coming to town. A game that you dominated statistically and in terms of possession. I believe the shots were 21-0 for the game, and here you are in the final 10 minutes of regulation, and it's still 0-0. Eventually, you get the goal from Vicky Condi for the 1-0 win. But I mean, does that worry you as a coach at that point, where you're playing so well and you haven't been able to put one in the back of the net, and there's always that potential where they get a lucky bounce or a lucky play and end up getting the goal to go ahead. Ultimately, it didn't happen, but take us through what's going through your mind on the sidelines there.
Yeah, I wasn't worried because I knew that I knew our kids were going to find a way. I was confident the entire game. You're absolutely right, though. Queens is well coached. They have a new coach there, but she is a good coach. And they do have a couple quality players that at any point could have finished. So we certainly respected that, but I was not. I wouldn't say that I was worried because I felt confident that our kids were gonna find a way, and they did. And the goal came from a kind of a 3-player combination, from Vic Bonani to Vic Condi, and then to Caroline Staudahl was involved, and laid a great ball off to Vic Condi for the finish. So it was a very, very good sequence, and our kids overall played very well.
So that was the first game this week. You'll have one more coming up on Saturday. Certainly, It doesn't get any easier against New Haven. There a lot of close games, certainly highly competitive games against UNH. And you're looking for the ability to keep this thing rolling here for the foreseeable future. What do you expect out of UNH here on Saturday?
I think you said it. I mean, they'll be good. They're always good, well coached, quality players, and we just played last night, so we're still reviewing our film from last night. I haven't seen New Haven yet, but I'm expecting nothing less than a very good team.
All right, Coach, congrats on the streak here. Let's keep it going this week. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll be back next week with our weekly spot of the Adam Cohen Coach's Corner. Coach, thanks again.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, have a great week, everyone.